different. Yeah.
I have one more question.
Give her. I'm interested.
What's your key to longevity? One thing I always fear about this podcast is that it's going to go away. I want to do it forever. You've been the head coach of SMU for 23 years. You look at your hockey DB, you see that list of years back to back to back to back. What's your secret to longevity and staying at the top?
Well, I feel like I don't feel like that was what we did. I just think that everything that when I watch things is being honest, being upfront. Don't give token answers that you guys are probably sick of too, right?
Right.
We worked
Cliche.
hard. I know. Just hope we get the 2 points, and if it should make us stronger. That sort of thing. Have a personality, I guess, and be who you are. If you be who you are, you're comfortable, right? If you're going to act like somebody else. If you guys didn't like sports, you guys wouldn't be in this, right? And if I didn't, like coaching or something, or guys didn't like playing, but you can't pretend, And then I just think that everybody questions it, say you're hard-nosed or this or that. You can be hard-nosed, you can ask the hard questions, you can do everything as long as you're fair with everybody. That's what I've always said. And I've made my mistakes. I've had guys leave where they're upset and with my fault, but on a whole, you try and at least say, I'm going to ream the hell out of you, bud, and I'm going to make your life hell. But there's nothing to do with what I think of you.
Right.
I'm coaching the hockey player in you. The person is on a completely different level.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah. So it's no. And I was going to say for you guys, especially, keep having the local guys on because everybody goes to the superstars, but there's some really, really good stories. Delabatore, you got Willem DeVoe, you've got all these kids out here that are going special places and so forth. Mm-hmm. People want to hear from them, and you don't get to know them. You hear about them, but sometimes you want to hear. I wonder what that kid's really like. Yeah. So it's.
I didn't realize the talent pool that we had here. Like obviously, you hear Crosby and that kind of stuff in Marchand, but it's like now that since we've been doing this, the talent around here, whether they get drafted to the NHL or whether they take the alternate route, that Deliberatory story you just told about them swimming, like there's so much going on here that nobody really, not that nobody knows what's going on, but not enough people, or you don't get to see it. And that's been the best part for us is the pool is insane right now for talent. It
really is. And there's some good young kids coming up. It really is. There really is a lot of good hockey players here. And since the Maritime, the Quebec League has come here, all of it's done is just, they were always here. They just didn't have the confidence to move away at 16 to go to Ontario, and a lot of the kids came back. You had a Maritime on your team back then, like a Dan LeBlanc or guys like that. They were warriors. They were as good a kids as you could imagine. Well, these are still kids here, but right now they can go to a Moosehead game and go, that's who I want to be,
right?
And that's what I'm going to do everything I can do to be that. Before they didn't. There was no TV. There was nothing.
No videos.
They didn't even know what the OHL was. Yeah. But when you can go to a game and watch it, it's like anything else. Once you inspire some of these kids, once you start that flame, a spark becomes a flame, you can have an inferno if you handle it right. And that's that's what you're looking for, to get these kids focused on the good things and not focused on the other obvious bad things out there.
Yeah. Which is there's lots. That's why that's one of the main things I like doing this is letting people know that if you want to do that option, that can work. This can work. That can work. This route, that route. You know what I mean? It's not all about playing in the queue and getting drafted in the NHL. Like there's so many different ways to go about it, but nobody really gets to see it unless you do it.
They'll find you.
That's good advice.
They'll find you. You know what I mean? They will. Problem is you have to. What comes first? You want them to find you, but be good. Then you need to work at your craft. You need to do all those things you don't want to do, make the sacrifices. You do that enough and you're going to get people that you're going to get their attention. Somebody will watch you on the ice and go, he didn't score, but that little guy over there, holy my God, is he good? Well, it gets attention if you're consistent.
Right.
But I've seen guys at my own team here. We've gone, had a horrible game somewhere or a real good game somewhere and then come back to Halifax. I know there's scouts in the stands and the guy has a bad game. We hasn't had a bad game in 5 games. We picked the wrong one.
Yeah, that's always how it goes.
So consistency, is probably the biggest thing. People want to know what they're getting and want to know what you're willing to do, and are you willing to make these sacrifices consistently, not just once in a while, right?
Yeah, that's the same thing with anything in life.
Yeah,
literally.
We're all fired up January 1st to not drink beer and stuff, right? But it doesn't last.
Yeah.